Good morning. I've been walking around this morning, feeling really strongly like I need to tap in and channel a little bit for folks who may find this beneficial. I haven't channeled on a video before. This is a first. So as I was sitting with that and feeling it through, I kept feeling Syrian consciousness. And Syrian consciousness, I refer to the star seeds of Sirius. There's Sirius A and there's Sirius B. They are sixth and seventh dimensional star seed brethren. Um, I always see a blue light around them. They're associated with the blue light or aura. Whenever I have gone there in meditation, which is possible, um, when I'm there, folks tend to wear white all the time. Um, they are pretty badass, very sort of broad bird's eye view, rise above it all. Whenever I'm tapped into that consciousness, I always feel very centered in my being and very at peace, like everything's going to be okay. So I was feeling that this morning, and so I thought, okay, well, I will tap in and I'll share what comes through. And as I started to do that, the Council of Light also came in. This is a group of beings that I have been contacted by before. I don't do a whole lot of work with them, but they keep showing up. I did not know who they were until they came to me in meditation. And I can share some more with you about all of them when I post this. So I'll send some links and some information for you to read about these groups. We are all intuitive and we all receive messages throughout the day. We receive them from our guides and our angels, but we also receive messages from star seeds and beings that can be classified in different ways that are in different dimensional realities. So it's going to vary from person to person, depending on what our individual makeup is. And what I mean by that is we have starseed affiliations. So it could be we're affiliated with certain groups and therefore we're resonating on their frequency band. So they're going to come to us. We can hear them more easily. Also, our DNA plays a role. So some of us have a particular mix of DNA, and depending on what that is, DNA is also energetic. And so that holds a particular tone or vibration as well. So certain folks from particular backgrounds will find that they're being contacted by, if they want to tune into that, certain beings or angels or archangels or goddesses, gods. It runs the gamut. So just be open if you want to be to whoever wants to show up for you, because we are assisted at all times by a very beneficent universe. And there are lots of folks out there helping us because it's hard to be on Earth. It's not easy to be here. So having said all that, I am going to close my eyes and tap in. I'm going to see who comes through. I want to share a few things with you that I have been feeling and sensing the past 24 hours. Whenever you listen to someone channeling, I really encourage you to use your own discernment process. Stay very grounded. Always use your voice of reason and sense of logic to think through what you're hearing. Use your gut. See how it feels to you. See if that feels right and if that resonates. What resonates with one person may not with another, depending on where they are on their soul path and what their lessons are right now in this lifetime and what their growth curve is. So always take what resonates with you and leave the rest, because we are all in this together. And any spiritual teacher or leader or channel worth their salt is going to make sure that people who are hearing him or her are clear on that. This is merely what I give to you in offering. I merely give to you a message, and I'm just the vessel for that. And then it's up to all of us to feel through what gives us joy and peace and what feels right to us. So having said all that, I'm going to tap in and we're going to see what comes through. So it is the Council of Light that is the strongest presence today. They are here and they're off to my right. There's a very strong angelic presence with them. They are very light filled. So when you think about who's coming in to speak with us and you want to visualize that, think of those beings as being very full of light, hence the name, the Council of Light. They are operating on a dimensional level that is on par with the angelic realms. So when I see them, I also see, they show me feathers, white feathers and wings, and some of the classic visuals that most people on earth have of angels. And some of us who have seen them clairvoyantly also will see them as such. And I have seen them that way as well, where their wings extend out. And so that is who wants to come in the strongest at this moment. So what they're talking to me about is joy and ensconcing in your joy and what brings you joy. And what is important right now to share is not doomsday prophecies or even new earth prophecies, because we are going into the new earth at this time. And everyone is at home right now in order to give the earth a rest and to facilitate that evolutionary jump into what's going to be the new earth. It is part of the ascension timeline, is what they are saying, and we are on that track, and it is protected even on the days when it feels like it is not. What is important right now for all of us individually, which then plays into the collective energies, is to continue to find our centers and to work on our health as much as possible. Work on your physical health and your emotional health. Now is the time to dive deep and to take advantage of taking a long, hard look at whatever we fear. I see fear. They're showing me fear as a big bear, a big, tall, growling bear over us. And we are looking up at that, and we are being given the opportunity to have a conversation with that bear of fear. What is it that scares us the most? Because whatever we fear the most becomes our greatest growth opportunity. We are all wounded, and we are all wounded healers, and we all have the opportunity every day to take our wounds and to work with them and to heal from them, and then to share that out as an offering on the planet and here universally. So as we are being reflective and we are working on our health, this is a very sacred time to take stock of our physical bodies and what we can do to assist our bodies as vessels and stay healthy, and also to think about our minds and our spirits and our emotions. This is the time to really take a look at our fears and where we want to go in our lives. And as we do that, and we move forward and we evolve that part of ourselves that needs to go, that will go along with the ascension timeline, which will then influence the collective. It is more important that we focus on these things individually than we worry about what's going to occur in the outside world, because the outside world we're being shown is indeed taking care of itself. So listen to what you want to listen to, take in the information that you feel you should. Continue to use your discernment as you listen to different channels and leaders and news channels and politicians. Moderate the intel that is coming to you and continue to stay as centered as possible every day. Do some sort of centering exercise, be it go walking or exercising or breathing or stretching or yoga or just praying, good old-fashioned praying. I've been doing that a lot the past few days. Stay cheerful and own your happiness. So that's the other part of this message that I want to share on behalf of what is coming in. You have the right to your own happiness, and your happiness does not need to look like anyone else's happiness. And people tend to want to put happiness in a box with a label and surround it with judgments. What does that need to look like? And if your happiness looks unusual to someone else, there is judgment then that is projected onto that. As long as you are showing up in honor and integrity, as long as you are staying in the light and vibrating in the light and connected to the light, and your intentions are good, because intentions do matter, the energy of those, then you will stay on the soul path that you came here to be on, and your happiness will find its way to you. And you have the right to be happy and to embrace it and to know that it's not going to look like anyone else's. It is very specific to each person. And what we are being called to do right now is to embrace and own whatever that particular happiness is for ourselves. Because when we do that, we will vibrate at a higher level, and the frequency will be more in tune with the light. Because when we are happy, it affects our heart chakra and up through our intuitive centers. It keeps those open, and the more open they are, the more clearer we are able to channel and receive our own connection to the divine. And that is exactly what we are to be doing right now during the ascension process. So whatever happens around us, whatever makes us afraid, know that if we face those things and we give ourselves permission to be happy and to fill ourselves with peace and love, we're doing all we really need to do in order to survive this global pandemic and this time, and to move into the new earth. The new earth is happening with us or without us. It's just a matter of how much joy you are willing to fill yourselves up with. This is really beautiful. How much joy are you willing to fill yourselves up with as you move forward in your lives? Because you have the right to all of it. And if other folks don't understand that, it's okay. They're not your folks. So you keep walking, as long as you are staying connected into that light. And so, there it is. I wish you guys a beautiful Wednesday. If I can do anything for you, message me, ask me questions. Let me know how I can be of service, because that is why I am absolutely here, is to be of service. Mwah! Much love. Take care.